for August 12th, 2024, shall come to order. Please rise and pledge allegiance. The executive session was held prior to the meeting today to discuss personnel-related issues. I have no announcements before the meeting here. Reading the minutes, council has a copy. Are there any corrections or additions? Second. All those opposed, or all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Citizen remarks. Please come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. And if you have not signed up, please do after your comments up there and register. Okay, no citizen remarks. Chief Lutz, please report.
Evening, Council. So for the month of July, we handled 41 incidents in the borough. We had no Part 1 offenses. We had one Part 2 offense, which was a fraud. The other incidents that we handled were animal complaints and alarms, assist other police departments, civil disputes, disturbances, EMS calls, speed recording device data, suspicious activities, suspicious persons, suspicious vehicle theft, welfare checks. We did make 4 traffic stops. It appears that we issued 4 warnings. Other than that, I just remind people to be vigilant. Weather's still nice. People are out walking when they shouldn't be walking in parts of the town or borough that they shouldn't be walking. If you see something, say something. Call us. Come check it out. Lock your vehicles. That's the best protection you can if you don't want someone to take things out of your vehicle. Why? I don't know. They just think that it's theirs. That's all I have to say.
Did you have a speed sign up in town? What results did you get out of that?
The data is speeding vehicles.
Yeah.
Enforcement. It was very, very low. That sign right there, I don't use that to judge whether it's a speeding problem because when people see there's a sign there, they naturally slow down, right?
Okay.
And it starts blinking when they're out far away, but they're already caught by that point in time. But it's easier for someone to say, hey, when you're driving through town, there's a big white thing hanging on the telephone pole. They look for it, right? So they adjust their speed. The device that we use is it's called JMAR Law Enforcement Radar. It's a little black box, and if you don't know what you're looking for, you're not going to see it. That gives us the true depiction, and I can actually break down the speed into time of day, how many enforceable violations, what are not enforceable violations, the 85th percentile of speed, which is the measuring point in which PennDOT determines what the speed limit sign should be for any particular roadway. That's the device that I've hung on that same location and gotten that data before, and which I will be bringing it back as soon as I move it throughout the rest of the town.
I thought
The other one was just hey, this is your speed. If you're traveling above the speed limit, please slow down.
Yeah.
Gives them that visual representation of the speed they want you to do.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was something you
Throw them all around.
Okay.
We used to just primarily just use that to get our data. And while it was good data because we didn't have anything to judge it against, when I put that up against the other device gives us a much better report.
And I want to follow up with the Newberry meeting on one gentleman has stated about that. That box should be put up at a different time instead of when people are traveling to work in the morning. Because like you said, when people see you putting it up, everybody's texting, calling, messaging.
I'll agree to disagree, Mr. Jones, because no matter what time we're gonna put up, someone's gonna see you put it up, right? I put it up at 8:30 in that guy's neighborhood. Most people were at work, so they usually start at 7 or 8 o'clock. If I make it to 12 o'clock, and they're coming home for lunch, I make it 2 o'clock, and the people that work in first shift are coming home. No matter what time of day we put it up, unless it's underneath the cover of darkness,
Right.
someone's going to see us,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And the other thing, I do know that it didn't pick up one motorcycle that I saw, the one that you had on the southern end of town, because I was sitting at Whistler Road getting ready to make a left on the York Street, and that motorcycle come through so fast. And this was before the sign was dead. It came through so fast, the sign didn't even pick it
Well,
up.
you gotta understand about the sign versus the box. The sign only picks up
Right,
one
right.
direction, the box picks up both directions at the same time. So that's why we get much better data, because I'm actually picking up data on both sections of roadway versus just the direction in which the sign is facing.
But the one that lights up, literally like a motorcycle, you go by without being detected. I mean, he did, obviously, I seen it.
I guess it maybe.
Because as soon as I pulled out and made a left, I mean, it clocked me, you know, to be 15, 16, 17, 18, you know, whatever. But I was just making a point about that. And the mayor, didn't the mayor ask for coding reports? Do we get monthly coding reports now?
No, he asked for one coding report, which I provided that to him.
Can we get monthly coding reports?
You get the monthly coding report that I send you every month.
All that for this is?
That's a report. The report he requested has to do with time. He wanted the amount of time that was spent in the borough for each incident. That's what the code report was.
Okay.
That particular thing.
So who gets that?
Nobody. I don't run it for anybody for monthly.
Okay.
If that's something that you want, we could potentially do that. It would take a little bit of administrative time in order for us to run that on a monthly
Does
basis.
anybody else get it?
No.
Newberry, nobody gets it?
No, they get the same report as you
This
get.
guy?
With the breakdown, in fact, if you see the cover sheet that you get, it has all the municipalities on there. The page behind there is specifically for Goldsboro. What,
Yeah.
the only difference that Newberry gets is these reports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not with
The only thing that Newberry gets different is I write a paragraph synopsis as to what I just spoke about of the incidents that occur, but it encompasses all of it. It encompasses Goldsboro and York Haven, because that's who we provide service for.
All right.
All right. Is there any other, further discussion or public comments from the police report? Not, I need a motion to approve the police report.
Thanks, Chief. Thank you, Chief.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chief Smith with the fire report.
Yeah, total calls for the month of July, we had 11, total calls for the year, 102. 2 structures, 5 brush fires, 1 pole wire down, 1 public service, and 2 fire crews calls. We had 2 training sessions. One of the 2 is one of the ones that I wasn't here for the last month meeting. So I wasn't present. List of management firms. Did we send that out in a monthly newsletter or reach out? How many management firms in the borough or landlords pay their electric bills?
Just about all of them. Now, there was a few that they pay completely, but there's a few that their residents pay.
Okay. Is there a possibility of trying to get this list again? Obviously with 110, that was obvious.
Yeah.
We had a call at 110 North York Street. I had to conduct forcible entry to the building after the management firm would not provide the access code. The individual that was residing there had already been evicted. There was a water leak in 112, and the water shut off was in 110. So, but that's the reason why. You know, at least contact made to the management firm to let them know, because then I had to follow up with PD and have them come down and advise them there was forcible
Problem,
entry.
see, there was a problem with us with the management firms, they changed phone numbers constantly.
Well,
The ones like over there.
yeah, but like that over there, they have a website.
Yeah.
And I already have 2 working numbers for them. I'm talking about the remainder of the borough to include landlords like Paulus. I have his number. But I'm looking for a full list of landlords and management firms in this borough, because that's gonna come up later on in the mayor's report for 53 South York Street. And the property behind that. So, but we'll get to that. The other question I have for council, status on the fireman's tax relief. That information was turned over to you back at June's meeting, discussed in May, held over to June, turned the report over to you per the minutes, and then July, nothing transpired. Where do we sit with that?
I think we were waiting until we had council, right?
Right, yeah, that's what
Um,
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't, there was no solicitor at the point.
And it was tabled, and then July we had the solicitor.
Well, I think it was.
But it's, you know, it's new, but I'd like to see where that sits now. Plus, the documents that were requested by Councilmember Toothaker were not put out on the website. I turned in what I felt was substantial, and the report's given. So where do we stand with the documentation we put out on the
We're
website?
gonna put that out here, I'm gonna get with Charlie and get the right forms and get that page, designed.
Okay. And that's just not for me, that's for, you know, anybody else that can go out, so they can get that documentation and fill it out themselves.
That was just put them back burner, all
Yeah, we changed our website and it was, it's gonna be built on the new one.
Okay. One last, well, never mind, that's a different story. That's a different topic. That's all I have.
Is there any discussion, or public comment on the fire report? Alright,
Just that we gotta have some proper documentation before we can do it.
right.
That has been turned in.
The, for the landlord tenant list, is there any ordinance that requires landlords to report their information and upkeep it?
Yeah,
to us?
we have a, I'm not sure if it's, we always have protocol, but when they change tenants, they go on a sheet and send it to us. And most of them are good, fact, ones like SPG Capital, they don't correspond with us at all.
Gotcha.
And that's not the only ones I was deciding, I was just choosing them because we thought that tonight.
Probably should think about doing something there.
Yeah.
So we have up-to-date information.
Yeah.
Okay, I need a motion to, accept the fire report.
Make a motion.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, mayor's report.
Just wanna take it out. Weed abatement, Broadway and South York Street. Do we have anybody, or anybody out on probation? We can put on that? Nope. Okay. Coming to council, see if we can get Brent on that
Right.
first.
Oh, okay, I already asked if he said that.
You won't do it?
What are we talking about?
The weeds down through, between, again, it was last year, and again this year, the weeds between the road and the seam of the sidewalks that are not residents' responsibilities.
They're not the residents'
The
responsibility?
sidewalk back to the house is. And if you take a drive up to Shelley's same way.
Yeah, I had a guy on public works director had him do it.
But it's getting out of control. Now, I know there are some residents, like where we had trees moved down in front of Harriet's, where the trees are removed, there's weeds all over the place. Just coming right up out of the ground on the sidewalks. I don't know if that's something we can send out on a flyer or a weekly newsletter, a monthly newsletter. Weed abatement, take care of, you know, the weeds. The firehouse is no better, I will state that.
You would think people would have respect for the property and just take care of it.
You think we just get somebody to spray it?
That's
Drainage.
a licensed individual to.
I'm just trying to alleviate Goldsboro looking like.
Well, that's why I say you think the homeowner would, I can understand how to do it from apartment buildings,
Yeah.
those people don't care, but you think the homeowners would care enough about their home to keep it down.
But it is the borough's responsibility, right? Can't we hire someone to do it?
How deep your wallet?
Pardon?
How deep is your wallet? That's all you gotta look at. I tried to get Brent to do it, but he won't do it, so you have to hire someone.
All right, here's another question, and I'm just throwing this out. I'd be willing to do it. The borough purchases the weed whacker.
We have one,
You got one? All right, here we go. I'll take care of it.
that's the one down there.
All right.
I'll help you. I have my own weed whacker. I'll help. Just let me know.
So where did you say South York Street and Broadway?
Broadway, South York Street, even North York Street after I took the drive, and then good chunk of shells. And, you know, even there's no sidewalks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a concern, it's unsightly too.
Just be careful. So doing that stuff for people, they're gonna have to.
Well, I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it for the borough, so. Other topic, 53 South York Street. Which, I got a complaint from, individual that lives in the apartments on First Avenue next to the storage, block, complaining of the weed growth on 53 South York Street. And I'm gonna go down, I haven't gotten a chance, but I'm gonna go down, I've already seen it, it's pretty bad. It looks like, I'd love to know where they got the elephant ears from and how long that's been growing like that. But, the resident had complained, he lives in the apartments across the street about the two properties, 53 and the one right beside. Domestic rabbits and exotic animals. I'd like council to consider putting a limit on the numbers on that one. The rabbits fall under exotic, and I think they should be limited.
They got no ordinance for rabbits.
Well, it falls under exotic. And the rabbits, it's,
Is that 8 in the pen or 8 on the?
there's no number. That's the problem. I know my next door neighbor had 19 removed,
And they're still getting out,
and they're still getting out, and they're still present.
because they're loose in the yard.
I'd like council to consider putting a number on the number of exotic, pets or specific rabbits for the borough.
So if somebody's raising rabbits and
Getting them to
Yeah.
just letting them loose.
They
Well, no, they'll raise them for consumption,
Right.
which is
But a
borderline.
bunch of them are escaping.
Oh, yeah. And now the problem is the ones that have escaped have bred with wild rabbits.
So the rabbits everywhere.
I have 3 in my backyard. And I got the droppings, so I can bring them in back.
Goldsboro?
Have you tried reaching out to the game commissioner at all on that?
That's who, the neighbor, has actually gotten in touch with the, game commission, the SPCA. She was black flagged, because she was taking the rabbits down and dropping them off. And after you take so many down, you get black flagged, or, I guess,
Can't take anymore.
you can't take any more.
Take them where? You guys?
SPCA, you get black flagged if you, bring them all down, just, here, can you do something with them?
She spent a lot of her time and money on
Yeah.
it.
So, I don't know. We'll see about that. Just looking to see what we're gonna put on how many can actually be maintained by the resident within the borough.
Just a matter of updating it with the
Yeah.
resolution, whichever it is.
Is there also requirements in there with disposal of manure and how you handle?
Yes, absolutely. Not in that set ordinance, but there is an ordinance for improper disposal within the borough. And that has already been addressed with 2 residents in the borough. 40 West Broadway, the camper in the backyard. Resident came and asked, what ordinance were you citing, or were you looking at an ordinance regarding that?
Just the only one, or one zoning, only one home. One home, you can't stay there and camper.
Yeah, okay. And what ordinance was that?
Just R1 zone,
Okay, so, all right,
single residence.
just so I can go back to them and let them know, because I couldn't find it on the new ordinance.
Yeah, she thinks that these people come from North Carolina and live in her backyard.
They were staying there for a period of time. I don't know if they're still there or not. I know the camper's there, but I don't know if they're still there. I mean, transparency here, they were staying in the camper for a period of time until they could find another location, campground, to put the camper in to reside, so. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the solicitor up. First off, my name's Doug Smith.
Nice to
How
meet
you
you.
doing? I got some questions for the solicitor. I was not present last month. I want to get clarification if you can take note on this. Under what authority does an individual representing the borough authorize to enter a private residence property to enforce an ordinance?
Like me, I have zoning, I can go on and
Yeah, I'd have to see more of the specifics of each circumstance, but that's something we can talk about offline if needed.
Because even with myself or Charlie looking to enforce ordinances, does that give us the authorization, if we're not invited on the property, to actually enter the property?
There's certain circumstances when you can. Generally speaking, I would say no, though.
Okay. And the last topic for me, 220 South York Street. Can I get a copy of the signed letter after you signed it and it was sent out, certified?
Oh, okay, I'm trying to think I have that.
Yeah, if you can get that to me, I would appreciate it.
What's that about?
That's the rabbit thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, the chicken.
I'm sorry, chicken thing, yes.
Yeah, if you can get me a copy of the
I
whole
think
thing
that
showing.
applies not to.
Yeah,
Oh.
both signatures, if I can get a copy of that.
Yeah.
And that's all I have.
Alright, is there any discussion or comments, public comments on the mayor's report?
Yes, I'd like to, what about the meter readers? Are they allowed to go on the property without?
Yes.
I didn't know if that fell under
It's
what
a utility.
Mr.
It's a utility function, and yes, they can. do
Okay.
that.
I just got a question about. Okay.
Any other comments or questions from the mayor's report? Alright, hearing none, I need a motion to approve the mayor's report.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? ELH and P report and water company report.
You have it in front of you.
Is there any discussion or member discussion or public comment on the ELH and P report?
Not really, HMP, but that whole things.
Yeah, pull that down. Yeah, I call it vegetable, but I'm sure it's gonna take 3 calls to call.
Yeah, that's something that also, the one telephone pole down here is Delaware Street, it has that board holding up, it's falls over people's house. Is somebody addressing that?
Oh, yeah, done to take care of.
Oh, that's the borough or that's the railroad?
That's railroad.
It's the railroad.
That's all we're gonna do.
I think that's what I'm talking about, is turning around with it too. It's got that big heavy messenger for that big cable,
So we'll just switch where we get it.
down at the underpass. I put that no parking sign on that one pole, that pole drive off basically.
A lot of those telephone poles that the railroad has through the right of way are just being held up on wires. We have towers, there's no power coming through those
At
ones.
what,
But they're just being held up by the wire.
what point does it become a safety hazard?
So they don't know what it is. But it's on their property, so they don't care.
Let's look at writing the railroad company, or a letter explaining that.
I have it.
Let's have Dusty go down, pull the 3-volt clamp off, and drop it on the ground, so it goes forward. little bit of life, no, I know it's not on us, but you're already,
Until they fall down.
and even when it falls down, our residents.
That's what they told
SOL.
Kenny, he has the marina, he said something about the poles just standing there, and the only thing holding it up is the wire.
I think we can.
And they told people when they fall down, they'll address it.
Yeah, we'll write a letter to them. See if we can get a resolution.
I don't have any.
Need a motion to accept the ELHEP report?
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor? And a motion to accept the water company report?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Engineer report? Solicitor's report?
No regular report this time.
But you're gonna check into, what is it, fire department stuff?
No, the.
Authorization of that property. For enforcement of this. Yeah, we'll give you a more thorough,
Committee reports. Buildings and grounds? Emergency management?
I don't.
Will, did you get your paperwork down to the county?
What we own there originally? Yes. I think that's an appointment or letter that's here somewhere. I think it's, and I don't, no, it's fine, it don't matter.
No, because
I haven't been able to log on to the site since I changed the computer. If you want to stay for that.
York County EMA sent me and, Charlie an email back in June, asking about, EMA coordinator and point of contact info. That's not all my stuff.
I was in there at one point, but I don't know where it's.
Okay. Well,
I
that,
thought that was, you had to get to, right?
that's you fill that in, send that back in, and then, you also have to do the background check with the state police too.
Yeah, because I mean, I was on EMA for York County, and all of a sudden, I just stopped it.
Yeah. Well, the reason why that also came up was last week the county had 2 meetings regarding that. So, which I was for, no, you're fine. I attended all 3, nothing significant, other than taking before and after pictures, which I have taken. And if the borough manager needs the pictures for Water Street, let me know. Because the creek, up the Bishop Creek here, at Pines and Valley, Deckman had sandbags in every. So I raised that,
I heard it.
and they still weren't removed.
No, I already had confirmation of all that stuff,
Well, I took pictures of it, and they still weren't removed, so I don't even know the status of it.
they're still there.
Fine, if,
Yeah, they're still there.
I know the cement barriers are there.
They lost them and, I don't know why they're questioning it.
And the other, there's several other things too, like,
Is that a state project?
Yeah.
and that's through Rudy. Because apparently Rudy called me and asked me about it, and I said, well, I told the company, I stopped and told them, expecting heavy rain, that kind of stuff, heads up, they stood it. Not my loss.
I even went up to National Light Up.
So, the other thing that, the reason why this came up was because of possibility of across the road. This was put out to the fire department also. They're beyond the discussion point with the restart. Yeah,
It's gonna be an announcement.
but I didn't know if you wanted to have that put on the radar for you. But also,
What's the feedback?
yeah.
They didn't supply us with like, right there goes your third.
Yeah, because that's also, looking through,
It was pretty nice.
the elected official binder, we're gonna need to seriously look at updating this. This has all of council members' information from 4 years ago. The EOP is supposed to be reviewed every 2 years and hasn't been updated. So we're sitting at 4 years without updated resolution on the EOP. So that's something that's also gonna have to be looked at too. And the NIMs are required for the EMA position. And they have a list of them out there, so that's all I have. For that.
Finance. The July treasurer's report.
You want me to read it?
Yeah,
So there were some comments, I guess, in relation to the close of July,
July's, treasurer's report.
July's treasurer's report. So there were some comments, I guess, that were out there, and there's some responses here. The general refund, the question was, the general refund received $13,090 refuge and recycling transfer, but the transfer out of the utility fund was only $11,620. Can the extra $1,470 be accounted for? And then the response that, from council was refuge and recycling transfer coming out of the utility fund was $11,620. What was deposited into the general fund was $13,090. The total that was deposited into the general fund, $13,090, was from June's transfer report and not deposited into the account until after the council meeting. The $11,620 for July is on the August treasurer's report. There were some questions, I guess. Charlie's quarterly borough manager pay of $1,470 was paid by check, not EFT. Were taxes withheld on this amount, and why was it not included as part of his EFT? The response was payroll was completed remotely with limited access to information. As such, taxes were not correctly taken out at that time. This was corrected upon returning to the office and has been noted. Let's see, Charlie's water copay is listed as an EFT direct from the utility fund. Wire funds being transferred from the utility fund for some pay, paid by check by others, and made as an EFT from the water company account. The response was the $787.50 is Charlie's quarterly pay from the water company fund. The money then gets deposited back into the general fund. His payroll from the payroll company reflects this amount on his check. The general fund is getting reimbursed for the work that Charlie does for the water company. With the confusion over, so this was a question, with the confusion over multiple payment methods and seeming accounting errors of the previously mentioned items from the treasurer's report, we neglected to ask why there are two payments shown to AMP, the electricity purchase, for a total of $80,042.21. May's treasurer's report shows a matching amount of $48,602.08. Is this line item a holdover from May, but was not reported in the June report? If so, how did it show up again in July's report? Our response was no, this was not a line item holdover. See the attached email from AMP. We were trying to be proactive and send another check out, and it is not being added as a credit because it was there in there. There was another comment, council has a duty to citizens to ensure our books are straight. How can we have faith that what we're being told is an accurate financial picture of the borough? The response was the accounts are reconciled every month. We're using QuickBooks and the borough does get audited. We just completed the SWIFT workers' compensation insurance audit with no issues. Then there was a last question here, or comment here. Council seems to be relegated. Council seems to have relegated their responsibility to the borough office and is not taking due care to payments, to pay any attention to all of what they are being presented. It says, don't seem to understand, but yet always vote to accept a flawed or questionable treasurer's report. This is malfeasance, laziness, and or lack of intelligence. Yeah, you can acknowledge this, but just know that the checks and folders are looked over and approved at each meeting. And I can account myself personally to Bill driving himself insane before this meeting, reviewing. The month before that, Rob drove himself crazy, matching up checks and invoices and making sure everything was.
And that's one thing you guys been doing.
Any other comments? You guys.
I'm learning.
Alright, planning,
Well, so at finance, where are we with the audit? Have we got an audit yet?
Yeah, it's complete, but it's not running. That's what the accountant said. We have a whole new accounting firm, our last firm quit on us.
Did we only get that like April, May,
Yep.
something like that?
Yep.
well, that's when the audit takes place, but then
Yeah.
it takes them a while to write the report.
Yeah.
To turn it around back to us for an approved certified audit.
So planning, recreation, national night out update.
Thanks everybody for showing up.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for helping us.
Until the rain, until the
Appreciate you
rain.
holding the tent down. Thank you. And slinging hot dogs.
I believe, it's on the calendar to do something in
Yeah.
October down at, the Boro Park,
Fall Fest.
possibly involving,
Use up the rest of the.
a movie and, free hot dogs.
Yeah, there's a lot of things on there, like,
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
pie making contest or something like that.
Is that gonna be a movie?
What?
Yeah, we'll be moving that
Well, I
on.
thought they were gonna, people, I don't know.
There'll be an agenda sent out about it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's something in the works to,
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of neat,
Yeah.
but if we agree to it, I'm sure.
to involve the residents.
Yeah, there's somebody gonna bring cows down, your kids will be able to feed them, goats will be able to feed goats. That's.
Longhorns off of you.
What?
Longhorns off of
They
you.
can feed them, set up food to feed
There's no
me.
hay rides and stuff too.
Yeah, hay rides, it's gonna be kind of neat.
We can get some rabbits up here. too.
Yeah, get some rabbits,
Rabbits on a stick.
and rabbit races.
Rabbits on a stick.
That's what it is.
October is rabbit season. Alright, sanitation and sewer, I have, on there, we asked residents to take a look at their sewer caps, see if any of them are damaged. And if they are, please contact the borough and, the sewer authority will be in contact with you to get that resolved.
Also the vent caps,
What's that?
the vent caps,
Vent caps, yes.
We-
and clean outs.
Are you talking about, I have the sewer.
You have a pump, so no.
You don't have one.
When they're out.
There is a sewer tap out there, though.
With the electric, can't they do
Yeah,
that?
it's-
No,
it's
they're not
sewer.
employees of the sewer authority.
Oh, okay.
Streets and highways. Are they fixing, do you know if they're fixing the wires and stuff on Valley, cause they're hanging down pretty well?
Yeah.
That's a
Um,
mess.
can we reach out to our state contact and
Yeah.
raise that concern?
Yeah, I have, I talked to Ruby about it.
One of these days, my camper may take one of the wires down.
Yeah.
The motor home is full.
Yeah.
And also, I noticed with the streets and highways, down here at Dump Road, the way I understand it, that's a state road there. Well, there is a willow tree, it's hanging way down. I could barely get under it with the brush truck when I take it out driving.
Yeah.
We have to make a call down there, the engines. Is there anybody you can contact the state and say, hey, raise them up above 13.6?
Well, somebody sprayed and cut it off, it looks like.
Oh, I was down there.
One side was-
I kind of avoided it with the brush truck because I
There's
don't
not
know.
much in the Rose area.
It's in the Boro area,
Yeah.
yeah, it's on State River, so.
There's a minute up Whistler Road just stop and get the phone number and call at him because they won't.
Was that one near 80, Whistler Road, 80 Whistler Road?
It's up on top of the hill, it's probably 3/4 of a mile, half a mile up top, going up, and it's the cross arm's horizontal, and it's broken, and it's hanging on the diagonal.
Well, we'll get into that in the next one. Yeah, if that,
I mean, that's nothing we can do.
no, electric utility, the power outage on August 6th, that was on Whistler Road at 80 Whistler Road, and it was, about a good 400 or 500 yards up on the hill. If you down, Clyde, I forget the direct address.
That's where the cross arms broke.
Where that yellow dude is.
Yeah, well, tree took that down, when was that, Thursday night? Thursday night, took that down, high voltage, caught the woods on fire. I've seen every pretty color you can possibly see coming out of that. And then, I went down on Clyde, went up to the backside of that, and you could get access, Medits, wherever it goes, so, I mean, that's why on the report here, on the agenda, it states power outage. They had to go and shut the power down to reroute coming off of Whistler to Clyde, to the Boro.
They're gonna be busy, because somebody here run off in front of Reese's gas station. They have all that shut off over there, the road shut down, because there's literally a pole laying there.
Yeah, we have an outage very few times that are responsibility.
Alright, the water, so moving along here, the water issue on August 7th.
That was just water was down because of the outage, 2 hours later, so.
Because the power was out,
It sounds sweet like, oh, it's in the wind and water.
because the power was out.
Yeah.
The generator switched on. Nothing.
Alright, so, under the electric utility work, are we still working on streetlights, or is that done?
Yeah. We're waiting on wires and fuses.
Gotcha. And, last month we said we were looking for a plumber to change the water meters, we're still working on that.
Oh, yeah, it's not, I've only got one response.
Alright.
Because nobody wants to work anymore.
And then, under zoning, trees in the lines, we're still working on getting some of the
Yeah,
trees.
I got 3 type of common to do the ones down the park. The ones that are out there on the streets. People where it gets you.
Any further member discussion or public comment on the committee reports?
The question on your accounting firm, so they quit?
Yes. The original county firm quit.
When did the council appoint a new firm?
When did what?
When did council appoint a new firm?
Meeting.
Yeah. Either the end of last year, beginning of this year.
Oh, the reorg.
What's that?
Yeah, the reorg meeting.
Right.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay, any other public comments or member comments? We need a motion to accept the committee report.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? All those in favor? Opposed? Alright. Unfinished business. Nothing in that. Councilperson's comments. Go around here. Melissa? Ron? Ryan?
I probably should have brought up the recreation, but I'd like to put a feeler out there, see how many people actually use the West Shore Rec, to see if it's actually worth their while to keep that up. I don't know how we can, I know a lot of people have Facebook, we do.
Do you want to,
I'd like to see how many people actually use it. Is it worth us paying for
Don't
that?
we have somebody that goes to that?
Yeah.
Hey, you're not seeing any.
But the first,
I've talked to a lot of people and they say, no, we don't use it, we don't do that.
Plus,
Can you get a report from
yeah,
them?
they should be able to give us a report on how many residents use
Yeah.
it.
At least they used to be able to.
I can look at those papers again, I have the financial, I don't remember seeing any.
They used to put a report together that we could get.
I'll have a meeting.
Yeah, I'd ask them, yeah.
Yeah, I
Next
have a
time.
meeting tomorrow night with you guys.
Yeah.
Just
They
ask
didn't
Eric.
cancel it?
Eric's one that does
Is
that.
that-
They didn't cancel it?
No.
Cause I keep getting notices, cause I'm back up that the meetings are canceled. And if you remember, when we went to the first meeting, most of the classes and stuff were filled up. And it's like, you keep, none of, you know?
A lot of those classes were the swimming pool.
Yeah.
That's probably 95% of everybody does the swimming thing.
So if one of our residents wanted to do it, they wouldn't be able to, because they were filled up. So what's the point? Paying, what is it, $2,900 a year?
Well, plus it's expensive to even do this.
Yeah, they gotta still pay some money towards it.
But yeah, that's for a report, good to know.
I'll check for the old one, see if there's any in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can do a survey or something like that, but see if you can get a report from them on their actual.
Gotcha.
How many residents?
Yeah, because they want to know when you sign up for a class, like municipality.
Okay, gotcha.
Bill,
I'd like to, make a motion to review the, borough manager's requirement.
no, we're still under.
Oh, no, I have no comment.
Rob,
No.
Will,
No, I don't have.
okay. New business, discussion on resolution 24-7, a resolution supporting America 250 and York's 275th birthday celebration. America is turning 250 years old on July 4th, 2026, and is being celebrated along with York's 275th birthday celebration on August 19th, 2024. As a community located in York County, it is important to pledge our support for these celebrations in the form of the resolution currently up for consideration. Residents interested in learning more about these celebrations should visit the More tab of our website, and you can follow the links to York County's History Made Here or America 200 websites.
Are they asking to have something here?
No, they just
won't run.
I don't think they want anything. They want us to support. It was on that letter that we got last month.
Yeah.
It was just, they asked us to pass a resolution supporting the reference. So, is that in their packets?
But that,
Is the resolution in their packets?
yeah.
Can you give us a list of this for you?
Yeah.
It's not a really forced verbal.
Yeah. So it says, whereas the Pennsylvania legislature and the governor created America 250 PA in 2018 to plan, encourage, develop, and coordinate the commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the United States. Pennsylvania's inaugural role, or integral role in that event, and the role of its people and nations past, present, and future. And whereas America 250 PA hopes to engage all Pennsylvanians and all 67 counties through their many signature and official recognized programs, projects, events over the next 5 years by inspiring future leaders and celebrating all Pennsylvanians' contributions to the nation over the last 250 years. And whereas the York County Commissioners have unanimously adopted a resolution endorsing the Commonwealth's effort to celebrate and commemorate the 250th anniversary of both the United States and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And whereas the York County Commissioners also desire to couple the 275th birthday of York County and the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Articles of Confederation in New York with America 250 PA. Celebrations to commemorate York's role in forming of our nation's government. And whereas
see why we wouldn't.
It doesn't sound like you're convinced us.
Right. They're not asking for money.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 2024-7.
Second.
Those in favor? Opposed? What's that? All right, next is, discussion on amending chapter 1, administration and government, part 2 of the office of borough manager, section 1-203, qualifications of the Goldsboro Borough Code of Ordinances. So we have noted that the ordinance dealing with the qualifications of the borough manager was not appropriately updated as originally intended when Charlie was selected and approved for the position. As Charlie continues to serve in this capacity, council members also believe that amending this ordinance will better facilitate the identification of a qualified candidate who can effectively serve the borough when the need arises to appoint a new manager in the future. We have so we're gonna amend it.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the new qualifications for the borough manager.
What are you renewing?
Is this the, what part of it?
So we're amending the,
Has our solicitor had an opportunity to review this?
no, what we're asking for is for a motion to, ask the solicitor to review it and advertise.
I'd like to make that motion.
I'd like to see this before we.
Yeah, I'd like
It's not
to see
in the
that
packet.
also.
I thought there was one
It
every
is
half.
in the packet.
Yeah, none of us have that.
No.
You have it.
Yeah, it wasn't.
There's a couple of them now.
Yeah.
Here's 124-7. There's another one, 2024-7.
Bill, do you have a copy?
There's an awful lot of them. Hold on, let's get two different ones.
Yeah,
That's the last ones I have.
one,
That's the initial and copy I have.
give them the.
You don't get one. You said that was the last one.
Oh, did you get one more?
Yeah.
So is this just updating?
Yeah, it's updating that last paragraph there where it says qualifications.
On the -1.
Yeah.
So basically, the change in this is in the borough or not in the borough?
Right.
Now, what's in place as far as PA state law? I mean, I know some of them say you have to become a resident in so many years. I believe his was 3 years. Does that change or what?
Yeah, that's what we're amending.
So there's gonna be no,
Within 10 miles.
There's no residency.
There's no residency
Residency requirement.
under state law. You had one under your borough law, and that's what's being changed.
And that's what we're tweaking. That should have been done when they heard.
Is 10 miles realistic?
That's,
10 miles, air miles.
Well, no, what I'm just saying is 10 miles realistic.
Yeah. Include middle town stuff where you got.
Well, what I'm saying is, that's a pretty damn small area that you're looking at.
But if you get 20 miles, how long?
You gotta be careful, we're close to the Maryland line.
No, you're gonna worry about how fast it's gonna get your electric back on.
Oh, no, I understand, I'm just saying,
You got to be semi-close.
10 air miles, I think, puts us up to Harrisburg. Close to it.
Okay.
That'll include Middletown. Everything over that way, that's.
Because I mean, when I applied for that position, I didn't live in there, or I didn't live in Boro.
Right.
Maybe have the DSO to be a Door County resident,
Yeah,
so we can't, do it, take the river out.
that's a resident of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Shell resides in York County, so.
No, but
That's
That
what
way
it's.
you
Middletown
take-
people
that way you take the,
don't
that way you take the river out of it.
yeah.
I'm fine with the redone where you guys are.
I'm good.
I'd say within York County, too.
Yeah, it's what it says that.
Yeah.
You want me to make a motion to
Yeah, motion.
refer the solicitor review and advertise?
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
I thought there was more to it than that.
So we'll have our office will advertise it then, or,
Um,
it's also means we'll advertise it, or?
No, we'll have,
Oh, okay.
give us, okay, with Middletown.
Okay.
Send us the final.
Gotcha.
This is just a draft one.
Okay, is there anything else for new business? All right, hearing none, moving on to the treasurer's report. Any discussion or public comment on the treasurer's report?
Question, I think the last several trade reports under the Visa check card just says did not receive statement. Has there been any updates once you do receive statement?
But just got the statements today, so I filled the checks in. Is that what you're asking?
No, like your debit card.
We don't get the statements until after the meeting's over.
Right, but like last month it also said that, and the month before I think it said that. So
Right, and
it's
it's,
always get published, but
and it is that way when our meetings are like the seventh or something like that, but when we get to the 12th, we get them like that day before the meeting or the day of the meeting.
I get that. I'm just asking, when was that information then made public?
I mean, when does each monthly statement become public?
Oh, you mean what it was, what those were? Yeah, see, the treasury report was already printed, so, I would imagine it would be an update on the, because there's no amount on those in the computer until tomorrow when she gets in here.
Right.
So, they'll be on the next treasury report.
So it is on next month's?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I asked.
But we have to pay them before that, or we get delinquent charges.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the.
I wasn't understanding the right.
I need a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Presentation of the bills. Any, member of public comment on the bills? Council should have a copy.
Make a motion to pay the bill.
Second.
All those in favor? Alright, next council meeting is scheduled for September 9th, 2024 at 6:30. The hearing for the, Randy McGee and, sorry if I, Elsa Holt, versus the Borough of Goldsboro is scheduled for September 11th at 2024 at 6:30 PM.
Oh, that's a chicken.
Charlie, if you can please notify the participants of the date and time. What is this?
It's kind of almost good for a chicken.
Well, I want that.
Yeah, we can't have it on a regular meeting.
We can move it, because,
Yeah, we didn't advertise it yet, so. But we can advertise it for any day you guys want.
let's, I have a medical appointment that let's move to the, so September 10th. Can't do that.
Everybody
adjourn?
Make that motion.
A second.
All those in favor say aye.